I remember seeing this beautiful girl, and as I thought about what to say, I started daydreaming about how our first date would go and what our first kiss would feel like. However, when I tried to walk towards her, I felt paralyzed and started to think about what I would do if she rejected me. I would be devastated, and in my head it would mean the end of my world. I choked, and before I knew it, she had already gotten off the subway. To my surprise, I found out that this happens to everyone, and a lot of advice will tell you that to perfectly communicate with others, you must say this or say that, but they ignore the part where they help you control your anxieties. Now, anxieties are a major roadblock when it comes to effectively communicating with others. Anxieties are those terrifying feelings you feel deep down in your stomach, followed by negative thoughts, which send you to flight mode and blur your judgment. Anxiety comes from the thoughts and beliefs you hold. For example, if you believe that starting conversations with strangers will end up in rejection, or that you will be devastated if they ignored you, then most likely you will feel a high anxiety level. On the other hand, if you think with a positive mindset, then you will perform better and get positive results. For instance, let's suppose John thinks that it is no big deal if he gets rejected or ignored, because if that happens, then he will just talk to someone else. John realizes that events don't determine his emotional reactions, the belief on those events do. These negative effects come in 4 groups. The first being when you convince yourself that events happening are making you nervous. This is called coping out because you decide to blame things from the outside for your anxiety, when in reality what's causing it is your thought patterns. The second group falls into catastrophizing, which happens when you tell yourself that if things don't go as you would like them to, then it will be the end of your world. The third group consists of overgeneralizing yourself and others, meaning that you place labels on others and yourself. For example, John tells himself that he can't talk to strangers because he is shy, when in reality he is outgoing and funny when he communicates with his family and friends. The moment John stops labeling himself as shy is the moment he will be able to do as he wants. The final group is categorized as demanding, which happens when you follow strict and flawed rules that prevent you from socializing. For example, John hates the color red, so he has a rule that prevents him from using that color. So when John sees a cute girl wearing a red dress, he rationalizes to himself that he won't start a conversation with her because he hates red. This limits his success and holds him back. Once you have identified the causes of your anxiety, it is your job to control them. To do so, you must challenge your belief system, mock them if you have to. The point is to stop living inside your head. Ask yourself questions such as, where is the proof that these events are causing my anxiety? What's the worst that can happen? Why should everything be perfect? Why should I continue acting this way if it never gets me anywhere? Once you start applying these techniques, you will realize that not everyone is going to like you, but it is okay. Everyone has their own different tastes. After some practice, you should be able to ignore your anxieties, and the next step to improving communication is through body language. There are many cues that can improve your communication skills. The first one is watching over personal space. When first meeting someone, avoid getting too close, for it might come off as evasive and uncomfortable. Once you find yourself at a safe distance, always have an open posture. Always have open arms and legs, and try to mimic the other person's body language. In doing so, they will feel closer and more drawn to you. Try to include touch. You can do so by having firm handshakes and introducing light touches on the forearm. This will signal great personal strength and confidence. But most importantly, always maintain eye contact. Neglecting it can cause others to think of you as anxious, dishonest, or uninterested. Along with eye contact, make sure to smile and nod to show rapport and interest. To better understand these cues and to easily remember them, always think of the words often. Smile, open posture, forward lean, touch, eye contact, and nod. This knowledge already puts you in the top 20%. But to start making conversation, you must apply the art of asking questions that promote interesting conversations. Questions fall into 2 categories: open-ended questions and closed-ended questions. Closed-ended questions usually feel as interrogations or interviews. They usually start with are, do, who, when, where, which. When you start a question in this manner, you will usually get a single word answered, or sometimes even followed by awkward silences. Let's look at the following example. Where are you from? Los Angeles. Do you like it there? Yes. Followed by an awkward silence. To avoid boring conversations or even awkward silences, try your best to follow with open-ended questions. These questions usually begin with how, why, in what way. Now let's look at the following example. Where are you from? Los Angeles. How did you end up moving to Florida? Well, you see, I got a better job here. Plus, I like the hot weather. Asking questions make you gain control of the conversation, and to do so you must practice active listening. This is when you listen to what is being said instead of thinking what to say when it is your turn to speak. Everyone wants to feel important, and the more questions you ask and the more you listen, the more you will be remembered. In practicing active listening, pick up the sort of free information others give out. It is from here where you can change or keep a conversation going for as long as you want. If we look at the previous example, well, you see, I got a better job offer here, plus I like the weather. It's free information and you can keep the conversation alive by asking about the particular job or that person's preference on the weather. Keep in mind that you can use this information to select a venue when you're asking a person to hang out. You have a higher chance if you invite that above person to the beach than to a heavy metal concert. Beware that as you gain experience, you will realize that some people will try to manipulate your behavior. Research has shown that people react to behavior that gets them rewarded, so other people might use this to control you. They might ignore what they dislike and reward the behavior they like by smiling and asking you open-ended questions. Don't let this stop you from sharing about yourself with others. Your attitudes, interests, and values lets others know that they can trust you. I would like to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and if you guys want to share a funny experience you had while trying to communicate with someone, please share that in the comment section.